Hi, I'm Kent Thompson. I'm the Artistic Director of the Denver Center Theater Company, and I'm very excited to announce today the 2010-2011 season for our company. I think one of the things you'll see in the season next year if you come is these plays will really speak to you. They're current, they're relevant, they're new. We're doing 2 or 3 classics, Dracula, Midsummer Night's Dream, A Christmas Carol, but by and large these are new plays or recent hits from American stages around the country. I think you'll find it a very exciting season that'll speak to you today about what's going on in the world. First up is Alfred Hitchcock's The 39 Steps by Patrick Barlow. This is an hilarious send-up of the film noir classic, The 39 Steps. What's interesting about it is 3 of the actors in it play 150 roles in the course of an evening. The central actor who plays the leading character from the movie plays it straight. Everyone around him is trying to do the entire movie with only 3 actors and a variety of props and sets. I think people will really enjoy this because they'll get to see actors from the company doing so many roles in such a short period of time. It's an hilarious kind of satire on a famous film. The next play up is The House of the Spirits by Caridad Svich. This is an adaptation of the famous novel by Isabel Allende. It's a wonderful story of 4 generations of women and the family as it goes through political upheaval, torture, violence, romance, passion. It's a beautiful story told in the magic realism of Isabel Allende's writing, set, of course, in South America. We produced a reading of this play at the 2010 Colorado New Play Summit. We're thrilled to be presenting it as part of our lead-off triplet of plays in the 2010-2011 season. The next play up, the first play on the Stage Theater, is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Everybody knows the story of Dracula. This adaptation, which is by Charles Morey, really centers on both the issues of good and evil and the issues of that sexy man that keeps killing people and turning them into the undead. It should be thrillingly theatrical, having all the anxiety and tension of any good Dracula, but it's also a story about the good guys trying to defeat the superhuman bad guy. In the holiday season, the first show in the Space Theater will be Reckless by Craig Lucas. This is a wonderful play from the 1980s that's set at Christmas Eve, that's the first scene, when a woman who absolutely loves Christmas is told by her husband in bed, just before they go to sleep, that he's taken a contract out on her life. She starts a reckless journey through America. She ends up meeting all kinds of eccentric and unusual people, ends up on talk shows, and finally comes full circle by becoming a therapist and meeting her grown son, whom she hasn't seen since that fateful Christmas Eve night she left. It's an absurd comedy that has darker tones. It should be a delightful comedy that attracts adults who want an antidote to A Christmas Carol. And that, of course, brings up the family holiday classic, A Christmas Carol. This has wonderful music by David DeBerry based on Victorian Christmas carols and tells the Charles Dickens story about the redemption of Ebenezer Scrooge, the mean guy we love to laugh at, who is greedy and selfish and learns the hard way by visiting his own life that he needs to be concerned with the lives of the people around him. In the winter, we have 2 world premiere productions that we're doing that will be part of our Colorado New Play Summit. We're very excited to be bringing back Michelle Lowe, the writer who brought us Inanna 2 years ago. She's written a new play called The Map of Heaven. This is about a radiologist and his wife who's a up-and-coming artist who paints maps of real places around the world. She has started to create for the first time a map of someplace not real. You might have guessed it, a map of heaven. Her radiologist husband makes a mistake with one of his cancer patients, and his career and life starts to spiral out of control. It's part romance, part suspense, and part drama. Should be a very exciting evening of the theater. Joining that will be The Catch by Ken Weitzman, and this is something that could be ripped from the sports headlines of today. A failed dot-comer has lost his wife, lost his house, lost his job, lost his career. He decides he's going to mathematically figure out how to be in the right place in the stands. When the home run record is broken at the end of a season, in San Francisco. He somehow calculates through computer analysis how he can be in the right place, and guess what? He catches the baseball, but it turns into a public melodrama after that, as the baseball is wrestled from him after he caught it. So it turns into a wonderful satire and telling drama about America's obsession with baseball, professional sports, making money, having one thing that'll solve your life, steroids, you name it, this play has it. Should be a delightful comedy in February of 2011. Joining those two plays will be William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, arguably the greatest comedy ever written. I think it's certainly the greatest play ever written about the power of the human imagination. We're thrilled to be doing this because this is a play that can feature so many in our company, and it's also a play about players, amateur players that put on a performance. Not only does it have the wonderful life, the imaginative life of the fairies, Titania and Oberon, and the court and the four young lovers, it has these mechanicals, these 7 working class guys that try to put on a play and do the worst job possible. We're happy to bring to the Stage Theater in the spring of 2011, in association with Denver Center Attractions, Traces by the Seven Fingers, a very exciting acrobatic Cirque du Soleil type of group that comes out of Montreal, but they do a kind of street theater. It has a story about 7 individuals. They're trapped in a room and they do feats of theatrical amazement. I think it'll be a very exciting show for families, for young people, for all audiences of all ages, and a new exciting kind of theater for us to produce. At the same time, we're going to present the Pulitzer Prize winning play Ruined by Lynn Nottage. This is a terrific drama about a very tough subject. Set in the Congo, it's about a brothel owner and cafe owner, a woman, who's trying to keep her business going in the middle of a civil war. Anyone interested in global politics, in African politics, in the state of the world, in what happens in an area of violence should see this play. It's a terrific play that won the Pulitzer Prize and so many other plays and has a wonderful, uplifting ending. The final show of the season will be Superior Donuts by Tracy Letts. Last year, our subscribers went to August Osage County, which Tracy Letts wrote first. This is a completely different story. It's about an aging hippie in a rundown neighborhood in Chicago running a donut shop. In walks a young, hip-hop African-American man who decides he wants a job and he can change and transform the business. In the course of the evening, of course, what happens is they transform each other's lives. It's a play that had a successful run in New York, as Ruined did, so it will conclude our season in 2010-2011. I think you'll be very excited about the titles we've picked for next year because they really take us into new territory. And it's a season that's relevant, current, filled with comedy, drama, and tragedy. And we guarantee you'll be excited if you join us next year.